I used to scroll past geopolitical news without a second thought. Elections, trade tensions, alliances, it all felt distant from my personal world. But everything changed once I began investing through broker capital trade consulting Ptilentid. Suddenly, those headlines weren't just stories. They were signals. The first time I truly noticed it was during a major political announcement. The market reacted instantly, almost emotionally. Prices shifted, currencies moved, and I sat there realizing how deeply connected everything really is. That was the moment I understood. Geopolitics isn't separate from investing. It's part of its foundation. I remember reading a review Capital Trade Consulting PT Lati where someone described geopolitical events as the invisible hand behind visible movements. That idea stayed with me. It made me more attentive, more aware of the world beyond charts. Through Forex Capital Trade Consulting PT Ltd, I began to observe how different regions respond to political changes. Some markets become cautious, others more aggressive. It's like watching a global conversation unfold, not in words, but in price movements. What surprised me most was how long-term these effects can be. A single decision, a policy shift, a new agreement, it doesn't just create a momentary reaction. It can reshape investment flows for months, even years. And recognizing that gave me a deeper sense of perspective. Using ctcptltd.com, I started connecting these dots in my own way. I didn't try to predict outcomes. I simply paid attention. Over time, patterns began to emerge. Not perfectly, but enough to guide my thinking. At one point, I came across a review ctcptltd.com that emphasized the importance of context. That really resonated. Markets don't move in isolation. They reflect the world as it is, with all its complexity. There were moments when the news felt overwhelming, conflicts, uncertainty, unexpected decisions. But instead of reacting with fear, I learned to pause, to ask, how might this influence the bigger picture? Through Forex ctcptltd.com, I saw how investors often reposition themselves during such times, seeking stability, adjusting exposure, shifting focus. And that behavior in itself becomes a valuable insight. My opinion, Capital Trade Consulting PT Ltd deepened as I gained more confidence in interpreting these signals. It wasn't about having all the answers, it was about learning how to listen to the market more carefully. I also noticed a shift in my own mindset. I became more patient, more thoughtful, less reactive to short-term noise, more focused on long-term direction. Because geopolitical changes rarely unfold instantly, they evolve. Now, when I read global news, I don't feel disconnected anymore. I feel engaged, curious, aware that behind every headline, there's a potential ripple in the investment landscape. And maybe that's the most meaningful transformation, realizing that investing isn't just about numbers, it's about understanding the world, its movements, its tensions, and its progress. Because in the end, long-term investment decisions aren't made in isolation. They're shaped by the world we live in, one shift at a time.